So what drives you and what drives your client? That's what I'm going to bring to you today. First I want to start with a story. There was, I'll take you back to when I was 21 years old, which is only a few years ago now. And let's not get the truth out of that story now. And basically I was in a situation where I saw a program on television and it was about like travelling through Europe by tunnel. And I thought that was cool. Next morning I get a phone to my mate, who was Sparking apprentice, and I said, I'm thinking about going overseas and travelling by train, would you be interested? And he said, mate, even if you don't go, I'm going to go. And I was like, this guy knows what he wants. So I said, okay, let's start making some plans. We signed up for YHA, we went down to the backpackers in Albany, we had Margaret River booked. We went down to Albany, he pulled the pin on Margaret River. I went to the backpackers with some other mates. This was around Christmas, New Year time. And then by that stage I booked to go on the Indian Pacific, to travel from Perth to Sydney and stay a week. And I got talking with some people that are backpackers. This is the first time I've been anywhere by myself. I was all of about 21 at this stage. And I was saying to people, look, my mates, I think he's pulling out. I don't think he's going to come. And we were preparing to go sort of about Marchish. And they said, look, and these were, Germans and, look, European people travelling and all the rest. And they said, look, even if your friend doesn't go, go. Don't hold back, otherwise we'll be waiting around forever. So I took that on board and I thought about that some more. Travelled all the way back across the Nullarbor Plain. Day 2 of seeing the Nullarbor Plain. Oh look, there's a wedge tail, there's some more sand. Yeah, it's getting a bit dull and boring for everyone's ever driven it. Got back to Perth and started making steps. My mate did pull out. Another mate, who was my sister's ex, said, look, just broke up with your sis, wait for me, I'll come to Europe with you. Wicked, no worries, sorted. A bit further down the road, what happens? He pulls out as well. So I got closer and closer to the point, and I was thinking to myself, what do I do here? I kept on making plans, kept on organising things. I'd worked out, all right, there's a certain flight package, KLM and Singapore Airlines, Perth, Singapore, Bangkok, Amsterdam, London, back through to New Delhi and back home to Perth. Okay, so it'll be 30 months of flights. I was sitting in the car in Francis Street, about to go into the YHA, and I was like, what the hell am I about to do? I'm about to book all these air tickets, pay all this money, and I don't know what's going to happen next. So I thought about it a bit, but I got out of the car and I went and booked anyway. And it was the best thing I did. I was away for 17 months, extended my trip instead of just Europe. I was in Asia somewhat. I was in USA, in Canada, 7 months abroad, worked, London, Camp America, brilliant experience. And the thing is, what really that I want to draw out of this is that I was sitting in that car and I had huge levels of uncertainty, but I stepped into it and I did it anyway. And that I just want to leave there as I step into what I'm really here to talk about, which is something called the 6 core needs. You may have heard of it. It's something that Tony Robbins has created. And I'm just here translating what it means. And I really want to send home what it means for you and what drives you, but also what drives your clients, what drives your customers, and why what matters to them is important, because if you can light that up from a sales and services point of view, you can do it even better. You can identify the gaps and work into that. So, moving along, I want to step into the first core need. And somewhat it's about ducks. Because you can do these 6 core needs resourcefully or unresourcefully. Unresourcefully, you can do certainty, which is the first 6 core need. Certainty, you must have all your ducks lined up before you act. That there is where life and opportunities will pass you by or you'll never act, because you're always waiting for things to be picture perfect. So unresourcefully, you can do certainty by having everything taken care of. Okay, so on a personal level, resourcefully you would be having, it's the things that you have that are rocks in your life. Yeah, the rocks, it's your the people you know, the way you live, the relationships you have, the skills that you have are a part of certainty. You know you can do certain things. Also, self-trust is certainty. I've got this is the language that goes with that. Okay? So from a personal level, that's how it looks. From a customer and a client point of view, it's like they want to know that your goods and services are trustworthy. That's that certainty, that you are reliable, you are a safe bet. In the world of, potential scams and being taken advantage of, people are looking for that certainty. So if your branding is consistent, if your products speak the same language, if you follow through with what you say you're going to do, these are things that create certainty for a customer. People are looking for this. What works in, now if I move on to the next one, which actually works in relationship quite tightly, is uncertainty. For some people it can look like this. Uncertainty is also called adventure. It's what I was talking about before. I was in the car, I didn't know what was going to happen next, but I did it anyway. And the only reason I was able to do that was because I had certainty in the first place. Certainty in self. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm sure I'll handle it. That's that relationship between certainty and uncertainty. Okay? Now, from a personal point of view, uncertainty is adventure, it's variety, it's growth. From a personal level, you'll be wanting this in your life. It's what fires you up, what stretches you, it takes you out of your comfort zone, and those things then become a part of your certainty, your comfort zone. The uncertainty is that. From a customer's point of view, you may not want to have too much of this. Somewhat changing the look, the feel, the colour, you'll get away with it if you've already built that certainty, that trust, that loyalty. But you don't want to be changing everything, because that uncertainty creates this sense of, I don't know what's happening or where this is going. This is not the brand. This is not the service. This is not the company that I know. So that certainty versus uncertainty. A bit of it, probably from a business point of view, would work to keep things fresh, innovation. But it's something just to be mindful of, is that people are still looking for certainty. So that's from a customer's point of view in regards to certainty. The next one is connection. Connection, whether it's be called, connection is love. Connection is connection to someone, something, a God, to nature. Connection is to something bigger than you are. It's that sense that there's an interconnectedness. It's not just you, you're not an island. And for obvious reasons, we are innately, we want that connection in our life on a personal level. It's our people, it's our tribe. It's our intimate, close ones. Okay, from a business point of view, where this matters is that are they connected to the business? Are they a part of something? Or is it just, or are they just another customer? Is there a connection there? Is there a sense of that they're getting something out of the relationship, or is it just a product, or is it just a service? Yeah. So if you can find out ways of fostering that in each of your different things that you do, then that goes to building a lot of that. All right. So if we talk about the next one, is significance. In a world starved of significance, it's something that it really matters. And this is crying out for significance. Yeah? Look at me, I matter. Right? I'm over here. Now you probably know people in your life or your world, business or personal, that unresourcefully go, I'm over here, look at me, check me out. Right? Yeah, that's that. I need that attention. Feed me. Yeah? Now, resourcefully, another distraction in life is Facebook. Like, how many people are unresourcefully through Facebook continually going, look at my food, look at my cat, look at my dog, look at my fur, look. And people are needing that validation that they matter. This is all about I matter. Yeah, like I guess an extreme case of where people don't feel significance would be suicide. Like, if there's no significance, I don't matter, then that's an extreme example of that. Significance in regards to something that is resourceful is where you are doing something for other people and you're acknowledged for it. You're given significance because you're championing other people. That would be a resourceful way of getting significance. You're a community leader. You facilitate other people's hopes and dreams. People look to you and you've got significance because of that. It could even simply be that people are recognizing you for what you've done and so forth. But it's not the clear distinction is, are you a giver or a getter of significance? That's the clear distinction, resourcefully or not. Just moving along now to these last two is about, the first four was about you, and the last two is about others. So this is about growth. Are you green and growing or are you ripe and rotting? So from a personal level, if you believe that you are that ripe mango on the tree and you've got nothing more to learn, the only thing that can happen from there is for that mango to fall off the tree and decay. Are you green and growing or you are ripe and rotting? Growth is a continual process, and it's about having ongoing growth, whether it be relationships, professionally, in whatever spectre of your life. Growth is about growth. I mean, the tree is a great metaphor for it. Okay? Now, in regards to the clients or businesses, how can you, other people you're interacting with, how can you facilitate growth for them? How can you be a part of their journey moving forward? If you can identify gaps in what is missing for individuals and service that, you're providing that service, and often that taps into sales as well. How can you facilitate growth for others? Right? And I think this sums up contribution really well. Work and live to serve others, to leave the world a little better than you found it, and garner for yourself as much peace of mind as you can. This is happiness. Contribution is making a difference. It is the legacy. It is impacting people's lives in such a way that, it is making a mark. When doing things, is it good for me? Is it good for others? Is it good for the greater good? Yeah? That's what contribution is all about. Now, if you can facilitate, that's for yourself. If you can look at ways, if you contribute to others, it comes back to you. Because contribution is about other people. But through servicing other people's needs, so on a business level, or even personally, but that's from a business level, is that you are making a mark, you're making a difference to their life, and that ultimately comes back to you in gratitude. And it's good for business. Now, what I want you to do is just on your table there's a bow and arrow. I just want you to pick up your imaginary bow and arrow, and just like I am, pull it back and aim your arrow right here at the red bullseye. Right there at the bullseye, and on 3, we're going to let it go. Aim for the bullseye. 1, 2, 3. How'd you go?
Oh, 1. Got it.
Bullseye.
Awesome. High five to all of you, alright? Well done. In the centre, we've got contribution. Okay? Contribution, working outwards to certainty. If you aim for contribution, you're going to hit contribution or one of your other 6 core needs. You aim for contribution for your clients, your customers. You hit contribution or one of the other 6 core needs for them. If you aim for certainty, you may hit it, but you may miss the board altogether. This is what is driving you and is driving your clients. Thank you.
Thank you.